So I saw this quote and it says, "You either face your demons or they raise your children." That is so real. My goodness. I think that is just so real. I mean, it really is. And then sometimes we look and we say, "Oh my gosh, he's just like his dad or she's just like her mom." And that's just because they didn't tackle those demons. Like they just let it go. You just let it move on to your children. I'm not doing that, you know. I'm not saying my children won't have issues. They'll have issues of their own. They're not going to have things that I've been struggling with because I'm going to tackle all these things. I'm not letting it pass on. That's why you have, you know, a child that was essayed turn around and become the essayer, stuff like that. Like, and then a lot of people say, well, there's no such thing as generational curses. Well, it is, because it's something that's been in your family line again and again and again, and you're not attacking it. You're not stopping it. You're allowing it to continue on in your family line. So that's a curse. Um, it's You can stop it, but if you don't, it's a curse. It's going to continue in your family line, and we all have things in our family line that has been there for generations. um, so no family's better than the next, but it just depends on who's going to stop it and who's going to break it and say, no, this isn't going to continue in my family. No, we're changing, we're switching it up right here. Right here it switches up, where I'm starting new traditions and new things that are going to continue, but not these negative things. And so yeah, you have to tackle those things. You have to say, no, I realize my grandmother and her grandmother and what, that's great, but no, it stops here. The buck stops here. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing those same things. I mean, and even if you mess up and you do some things, teach your kids to do better, because it's a process. It's a whole process. It's a learning process. Life is about cycles, and like at each level you start a new cycle, you start a whole new learning process. It's like, oh gosh, a lot of people think like, oh, once I become a leader, I've arrived. You've never arrived. Because that just means you're starting a whole new learning cycle. So now you have to start the whole process of learning how to be, like each step, each level, there's a whole new learning process that takes place. So you're never really arrived. You only keep progressing to the next step, sure, but then you start over with the learning at that step. So it's like, sure, you got a promotion, but now you have to learn that role. Then you get a promotion, but now you have to learn that role. So it's a continual process. Life is fluid. And, if you get too stuck in one place, then that becomes a problem. You need to be fluid. You have to be adaptable and changeable and willing to grow and learn. Um, you don't want to get stuck. So, anyways, and you definitely don't want your children dealing with demons that you should have dealt with. So, I just thought it was a cool quote. Man, my hair looks rough. My goodness, I'm going to do it. I washed it and I just didn't put anything in it. This is what happens when you don't put anything in it. Oh, yeah, I should have put some. Now I'm going to have to wet it again and start over. I didn't put anything. Dang, it's dry. All right. Anyways, all right. Carry on.